Hi, everybody. This is attorney Ann Sudke. I decided to make a video today to address some of the concerns and emails that I've been receiving about the effect of the virus outbreak on the immigration agencies. So I thought it would be a good time to talk a little bit about that and how the shutdown is affecting my offices. As you know, I have an office in New York and New Jersey, and unfortunately, both states have been hit hard by the shutdown. And as of today, we were mandated to close our offices and for the care of our clients and for the general public, that we have no in-person consultations and keep everybody healthy and safe. So our offices are functioning. My staff is still receiving calls, and we're working on cases, business as usual for the most part. But we are following the mandate and keeping closed at least until they say that it's safe for us to physically reopen our offices in New York and New Jersey. But as far as the shutdown on a larger scale, it is affecting obviously the all the immigration agencies. And I know that has sparked a lot of concern and just overall worry about where your cases are, whether that the cases will be processed. And I wanted to clarify some of those misconceptions and make sure that everybody understands exactly how the agencies are being affected. So we'll go through all the different types of agencies. If you have any follow-up questions about what I discussed today, you can send an email, you can send a Facebook message, and I'll be happy to answer them. You could still call our offices. Someone from my office will respond to you, and we can address those concerns. Okay. The number one concern right now should be your health and the safety of your and health of your family members. That's the ultimate concern for everybody right now. So my offices are stressing that to you, and not to worry about your cases. That's secondary. But this will all pass eventually. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the individual agencies and how they're being affected. My office has been getting numerous emails directly from the agencies themselves. So all the information that you're getting today is directly from USCIS or from the immigration courts or from the Department of State, which is controlling all the U.S. embassies. So this is clear information coming directly from them. So, if you're hearing other information or getting it from other sources, please compare it to what I'm letting you know about today, so you know that what is right and what is wrong. Now, as far as the USCIS offices, the ones that are handling naturalization, green card applications, those sort of applications, those have all canceled appointments as of this week up until at least April 1st is what we've been told. From my experience and from what I've been hearing, it seems like that deadline of April 1st will be extended. But as of right now, anybody who has an interview, an appointment, including fingerprint appointments, are all canceled. Green card, citizenship, oath ceremonies, they have all been canceled as of right now. Now, a lot of the questions that I've been getting is, do I need to do something now that they're being canceled. You don't have to do anything. USCIS has informed us that new appointment letters are going to be sent out. So you can just disregard the ones that you have, and you'll be getting new appointment letters in the mail or via the USCIS account if you set one up. So you'll be getting updated information that way. You don't have to call. You don't have to send an email. They will take care of that on their end. Okay. Now, as far as new filings are concerned, like if you haven't filed a case yet and you are in the process of doing so or working with your attorney on doing that, USCIS is still accepting new filings. So that's this shutdown is not affecting them receiving it and issuing receipt notices. Now, another question that I've received is, are we going to be getting receipt notices as quickly? I really can't answer that because I don't know how badly USCIS is being affected. I know that USCIS offices are still working, but obviously they're not going to be working at their full capacity. So receipt notices, which usually come within 10 to 14 business days, the timeline might be affected. But you can still file and keep a tracking of when you've made the filing. And hopefully you'll be receiving that receipt notice, so it'll be confirmation that you've filed your applications and your forms, okay? So they are accepting filings. We also got notification last week that photocopied signatures, so scanned signatures, they don't need originals. So if you are working with an attorney, that kind of will play well with filing with your attorney. But as far as if you're doing it on your own, then you just, make a copy of everything, obviously, that you send, just so that you have a backup in case they don't receive it during this time. As far as asylum offices are concerned, again, all asylum interviews that have been scheduled have been canceled, again, up until April 1st, as of right now. People who have had their interviews and they're scheduled to pick up their decisions, those have also been canceled. They are not allowing anybody to obviously walk into a building to pick up their decision. They said that they will mail the decisions instead. So, if you had an asylum interview this week or possibly the next week, those will probably be rescheduled at this point. Once I get up-to-date information, you'll find me posting it right away on my Facebook page. This is all the information that I have presently. So if you have an asylum interview this week up until April 1st, it's for sure going to be rescheduled, okay? Asylum office should be reaching out through your attorney or to you directly to let you know not to come, okay? But if you don't get that kind of notification, please do not go. Now, one important thing to remember is that if you filed your asylum application and you still haven't gotten your interview yet, or if your interview has been canceled, that does not stop the employment authorization clock, which means that the 180 days that need to pass for you to be able to get your work permit through your pending asylum case will not be affected. So that clock will keep on going even if your interview has been canceled and will be rescheduled. So that's a little bit of good news for people who are waiting to get their interview and or their work authorization. Okay. Now, with regards to, and I've gotten many inquiries about this, regard to applications that are being processed for people who are living overseas, like through the U.S. embassies. There are lots of people who have filed paperwork. It's gotten either to the National Visa Center stage or it's already at the U.S. embassy in their native country, or their relatives' native country. And as far as we've been told, U.S. embassies have suspended or have postponed all non-immigrant and immigrant visa interviews for these applications. So they are not conducting any interviews at the U.S. embassy at this time. If you have an upcoming interview, most likely those will also be rescheduled. They are just urging everybody not to come to the U.S. Embassy for any reason, not to check up on your documents, to check up on your visa interview. There are plenty of ways to contact the U.S. Embassy. I'm not sure how quickly, again, you'll be getting a response, but if you want, you can send an email and inquire about the status of a visa interview that's coming. Okay, so the most important is just, go onto the website and see what they are saying as far as your particular case, because again, all cases are being treated differently. If you are still in the process of uploading documents to the, for the National Visa Center, you can go ahead and keep doing that. That is not going to be affected. So if you have to upload documents that have been requested by the National Visa Center, you can continue doing that. As far as we know, the processing of all of these applications will continue. However, the time as to when your interviews will be scheduled, that is uncertain at this point. We don't have enough information from the immigration agencies to let you know how long this is going to take. I mean, the overall effect is going to be, take some time by the time everything resumes back to normal and they start to reschedule cases. It would take a little, take a little longer. So be patient, but cases are being processed. So keep uploading your documents and keep sending in your filings until they tell us otherwise. Now, the other thing that's dealing with the Department of State and the U.S. embassies is that, as you have been hearing, there have been a lot of travel restrictions that have been being put in place. Europe just had a 30-day travel restriction, so that's affecting people who have received visas and were had intentions to travel to the United States, but now, because of the travel restrictions, they're not able to come to the United States. So that's another aspect of this whole situation that we're in, is that we don't know how long it's going to take for people to actually enter the United States, even after they have received their visas. So again, depending on how long this COVID-19 outbreak and the shutdown will take for everything to go back to normal, we don't know how extensive the travel restrictions will be. Okay, it's not country specific at this point. It's just pretty much worldwide. They're just limiting how people are, how many people are coming in at this time. Okay. Now the other agency that's also been affected are the immigration courts, which is handled by the immigration courts are under the Department of Justice, so they are a different agency. They are not tied to USCIS or to the Department of State, so they function separately. The last news that we got from them is that all master calendar hearings have been canceled at this point. So any master calendar hearings that are coming up in the next 2 weeks have been canceled and will be rescheduled. Now, they have told us that they're not completely closed. So what that means is if you have a relative who is detained in immigration detention, those cases will be moving forward. If you have an individual hearing, which is your trial date, your final trial date, those are also moving forward. So until now, despite the many requests that have been made by immigration attorneys and by the immigration judges union, they are trying to get a full shutdown so as to not expose anybody to the virus. However, the immigration court is moving forward with detained cases and individual cases as of right now. So if you have a master calendar hearing coming up, again, you can check the court hotline, the 1-800 number. If you call the courts, I'm not really sure that anybody's going to be responding to you. So your best bet is to call the 1-800 number or perhaps ask your attorney if it's after this week and you're not really sure. There is one other area that also might affect a lot of people in the next week, and that is the new H1B filings. If you are doing an employment-based H1B filing, as you're aware, the filings have to be mailed to USCIS as of April 1st. Now, this has taken a big hit on the H1B filings right now because we don't know if the processing is going to be delayed and if things are going to function the same way for H1Bs. So we do know that premium processing for H1Bs has been suspended. There is no premium processing now for H1B. For people who are not aware of what premium processing is, that is a extra expedite service offered by USCIS, where you pay a fee of $1,410, actually $1,440 now, and that would expedite your case to 15 business days. But unfortunately, because of the national emergency and the shutdown, premium processing has been suspended at this point. Okay. I'm thanking for everybody, for the ones that are watching me now, and for sending all of your requests. I'm trying to read through them. A lot of people are asking about cases that are filed consular processing, meaning through the U.S. embassies. One lady is asking that they received the application July 1st and you haven't heard anything from them. July 1st of 2019. Okay, so that may or may not be affected by the outbreak right now. That could just be a processing issue. If you haven't heard anything from them since July 1st, probably I would suggest you calling my office so we can see where the application is, because it goes from USCIS to National Visa Center to the U.S. Embassy. So we'd have to know which stage that it's in. I know you said you called twice, but I'm not sure where you called. So we can check on that. Sophia's asked, she's stuck in Egypt. She wants to come back. And your green card will expire August 5th. Okay, so again, this the travel restrictions to and from the United States should be a temporary issue. We're not expecting that it's going to go. We're hopefully expecting that it's not going to go until August. So you should be able to come back. The U.S. embassies have many opportunities to come back they'll help you with, in many ways to come back, especially if you live here and you're maintaining your residence in the United States. There's going to be no issues. I wouldn't even worry about your green card expiring if it should go past August 5th. There are ways to go around that. So I wouldn't worry too much. Let's just see how long this outbreak is going to take. Some people are asking about fiancé visas. It's the same thing. The K-1 visas are treated the same as they are non-immigrant visas being handled by the U.S. embassies. Expect a little bit of a delay, both at the National Visa Centers level and at the U.S. Embassy level. Okay, the most that you can do is just wait. And wait until this is all over, and then we can start inquiring. I don't expect that you're going to be getting a lot of responses at this point. Someone is asking about a biometrics appointment for the green card that should be in Elizabeth, New Jersey. No, there are no biometrics appointments at this point. They canceled all appointments until at least April 1st. And like I said earlier, we are expecting that it's going to go further than the April 1st deadline. So if you do have a biometrics appointment, just ignore it and they will send you another one. Okay. And just keep in mind that if we do finish with all of this, hopefully in the next month, and for some reason you don't get another appointment notice, you can contact my office or you can call USCIS directly. Just let them know. They're going to look up your case. They're going to know that the appointments were canceled, and they'll just generate another appointment for you. Okay, so no worries in that regard. Lisa's asking, she got her receipt notice for her application in January, and do I think that there will be a delay? Yes, I certainly do think there's going to be a delay. In order for the USCIS already, has a hard time with, keeping with normal processing times. But in light of, what we've been dealing with, I certainly expect that there's going to be a significant delay. Which I know is very unfortunate for many of you who are, petitioning for loved ones, fiancés, husbands, wives, parents. I know that this is going to be very hard to deal with, and I think the overall situation is very uncertain, and there's going, no doubtly be an effect all around. So, but your patience is going to be needed at this time, because the immigration is directly affected with this. Bringing people into the country from outside is probably one of the one thing that they are trying to control at this point. So, issuing visas, it's not a ban, it's not a travel ban by any means. So, don't confuse it with that. This is just a temporary halt on all travel coming in to the country and out of the country as well, just for the safety of everybody. So they are asking for our patience, in all the processing. So we're just, I'm relaying that information to all of you. Okay. Like I said earlier, we are living in very uncertain times, and in a situation that I don't think any of us have ever dealt with. It's a little unnerving. It's causing a lot of people to worry for several different reasons. I certainly understand that, and I share your worry. I share your concerns. I'm here if you need questions to be answered as far as what the immigration agencies are doing or not doing. So this is why I'm doing these videos, and I expect in the next few weeks I'll be doing more videos to just kind of keep you guys up to date. Like I said, I do post as much as I can on my Facebook page with up-to-date information. As soon as I hear something, I post it. But I have gotten more positive response from the videos, so I will continue doing these videos if that is helping ease some of the tensions these days. My office will remain open, will remain functioning as much as we can. I am conducting Skype consultations, FaceTime consultations, Zoom meetings if it's more than one person. We're trying to be as accessible as possible given the circumstances. I thank you, honestly, for everybody, all my clients who are understanding of the situation. Probably one other thing that I should also mention is that people are also nervous about certain deadlines, meeting certain deadlines, notices that they've gotten where they have to respond within a certain time, but they're having a hard time getting certain documentation from overseas, or, there is going to be a lot of leniency on the part of USCIS with deadlines. Now, this is not a way to say, miss your deadline or don't respond within time. It's by no means I'm trying to say that. But if you are having a hard time getting certain documentation from overseas that's required because of the current situation, there are always ways to do a motion to reopen or send a letter to USCIS to explain that, what the hardship was. So try to respond. If you have certain deadlines to respond to, please mail in your documents at the right time. That's noted on USCIS. But if you can't, that's something that you can definitely reach out to me about, and we can help you with that. Okay. I think I'm going to conclude this video just by saying that I hope that everybody is in good health. It is a tough time for everybody. Staying home, readjusting their daily lives to the situation that we're in right now. I've certainly felt it, and I'm sure all of you have as well. Just remember that your health takes precedent right now, you and your loved ones and your family. So please, heed the warnings in your states and from your governors. If they're telling you to stay home, stay home. It's for the health and for the benefit of the world at this point. So I wish you all good health. I wish you lots of activities at home, and please keep like my page and keep informed with all the updates that I am making. I will try to do one at least once a week to address your questions and your concerns, and stay healthy, and God bless.